Hey everyone, and welcome back. So it is indeed Friday the 13th, and not only is it Friday the 13th in and of itself is special, but the fact that we're actually getting one in October this year is really extra special. It's one of my NECA Jason masks, which I'm not going to hold it up the whole time. You guys know what Jason is. Now, well, this isn't quite the video I originally was planning because unfortunately my schedule this week changed, including my schedule for today. So not quite the in-depth video I was originally planning, but I am at least glad to be making something because there was no way I could let this day pass without making some sort of video to celebrate the fact that it is Friday the 13th and in October, because honestly, I don't even remember the last time we had a Friday the 13th in October. And also, if I'm not mistaken, we're not even going to get a Friday the 13th until I think September of next year. You know, I know it kind of varies from year to year, obviously, but it's kind of something that alternates on it, because I think last year, didn't we get two? Or am I wrong? I don't know. It doesn't matter. So I want to share just a couple very quick sort of Friday the 13th Jason things with me, and also make you guys aware of a couple things. One, I think Shock Factory on their website has their Shocktober sale. I think it actually ends at the end of tonight, but in that sale is the Friday the 13th box set. I think it's on sale for $89.99 if I'm not mistaken. So on the off chance you haven't picked it up, definitely a good time to pick it up. Also, and I think this might be for today only, they have done this before, but on, I don't know about other platforms, but I do know on iTunes, they do have a Friday the 13th bundle for the first 8, so the Paramount ones. You can get all 8 in that bundle for $12.99, which is an amazing price to get that if you're looking for a digital version. And again, that is only the first 8, does not have the New Line Cinema ones. And also for soundtracks, I think Waxwork Records, I think is re-releasing some of their Friday the 13th LP soundtracks. And if you're looking for CDs, I know La La Land Records obviously has a lot of the Friday the 13th soundtracks available on CD. In fact, they just released a sort of an extended version of Part 3, because they released them a couple years ago, but then they actually more recently got access to a lot of the audio tracks that they did not have access to originally, so they've been re-releasing them as they go along. So they've now done the first 3. In fact, I'm waiting on the third one, which I'm hoping will come in maybe Monday or something, I'm hoping. So definitely a lot of options there, I think, if you're looking for something Friday the 13th-ish. And I swear, I've been a fan like my entire life. I can't even remember a time when I wasn't some sort of fan of Jason and the whole series. And the funny thing, and this has happened with a couple of like the franchises as well, is I tend to start seeing them very young, probably younger than I should have, but you know, but I started seeing them actually out of order. In fact, if I remember correctly, I think I saw Friday the 13th Part 3 first, and then I saw the first one, and then I saw 2, or did I see 3, 1, 4, and then 2? I can't remember, but it's like it was like a weird order. And then onward, I think I saw them in order going on from there. So in that regard, 3 is kind of always has a very special place in my heart, because again, it was the first Jason film I ever saw, and I love these films to death. You know, it's like the kind of thing where it's funny. I literally just saw someone talking about these films, and they say how much they enjoy them, but then they go like, oh, but they're terrible. You know, it's just like, I enjoy them, but they're terrible. It's like, that drives me nuts. That's like a bit of a pet peeve of mine. It's like, yeah, I mean, what are you comparing stuff to? Not everything has to be, you know, high art kind of thing. And it's like, for me, it's like, I love the Friday the 13th films. I mean, some more than others, I'll admit that, but by and large, they're just fun, you know? And that's the thing with a lot of horror films in general, too, where it's just like, you know, people like kind of put down horror in many ways. It's like, well, if you're enjoying it, just say that you enjoy it and you love it, and it's like, that's it. You don't have to make any kind of stipulation or excuse or anything. A small thing, but it's just something that kind of gets to me. It's just like, you know, I make no qualms about it. I love all the Jason films. Like I said, granted, a couple more than some of the other ones, but still, I love them all, you know, for different reasons. And I still remember, like, when I saw them for the first time and everything. And of course, gotten the chance to meet them over the years, you know, a lot of the different actors who've played Jason. In fact, I think I've met all of them except for, obviously, Richard Brooker from Part 3, because obviously he passed away many years ago. And even since we've lost a few, but I was lucky enough to meet some of them and get some special photo ops of them actually in the Jason sort of get up. In fact, the first one, which I got just a couple years ago at actually, I think all these are from flashback weekends from different years, but this first one, which was really cool, which had a bunch of them in costume, which you can see here. So from left to right, that's Ted White, the late Ted White from Final Chapter, Tom Morga from Part 5, C.J. Graham there in the center from Part 6, Ken Kurtzinger from Freddy vs. Jason. As you can tell, he's definitely the tallest one out of all of them. And of course, then on the right, the late Steve Dash from Part 2. And then the last 3 years, flashback, luckily he's been getting Kane Hodder because he wasn't there at the time for that group one, but they now have him coming back last 3 years, so I've been able to actually get him now on his own, but with several different costumes. But before I get to Kane Hodder, actually, I do want to mention real quick this one of Dick Weinard in the jumpsuit with a machete, as you can see from, this was, I think, maybe 3 years ago when I got this one. Obviously from Part 5, and this was a cool one. You know, he's definitely embraced that, and he was fantastic. I loved meeting him. And so that was also the first year that I got Kane Hodder doing a Jason makeup, and that first year he was in doing Part 8, which you can see here, which was a really great job. And then last year he did a Jason X, was like that Uber Jason, and this was really amazing. It's kind of hard to tell in the photo, but it was actually very well done. Even had like the red contacts in and everything. It was so awesome. And then this past flashback, which, oh God, I still have to finish editing that video before the year's out. That'd be nice. But he actually did a Part 7 one, which is amazing. And there were two options for that photo op. You get it in the mask or without the mask. But the Part 7 makeup I love so much. My two favorite Jason makeups are the Final Chapter, the one Tom Savini did for the Final Chapter, and the one that John Carl Buechler did for Part 7. So it's sort of, even though technically they're both zombie Jason, I sort of look at it as sort of like, you know, Final Chapter is my favorite sort of pre-zombie, and then Part 7 is like my favorite zombie makeup. So I definitely wanted to get one with him. We can actually see the makeup. So I'm hoping next year maybe they'll do a Part 9, because I think, you know, at that point, I think it's the only one I'm missing, at least as far as Kane Hodder goes. Just a couple odds and ends to celebrate this day, because it is, you know, special for a lot of us, not only as, you know, Jason fans, Friday the 13th, you know, fans, but I think even horror fans in general, even if they're not a huge fan of the Jason films, I think there's just something kind of special. Like, we don't look at it, you know, as Friday the 13th as a bad thing. You know, it's something we definitely like to celebrate. And of course, it's a perfect excuse to watch any of the films or all of the films. You know, as I mentioned briefly, like, it's been a while since I've actually watched them all the way through, and I think I really want to do that, but I'm kind of like, oh, I really want to finish off this month, so I'm kind of thinking, even though technically I wouldn't start it on Friday the 13th, although I don't know, maybe I'll squeeze in the first one, and then I'll continue it actually in November, and just kind of watch the rest straight through. I don't know. Anyway, that's on me, but definitely want to take this moment out of the day and squeeze in this video celebrating Friday the 13th in October. So let me know some of your favorite Friday the 13th, or Friday the 13th, Jason memories in general. If you have any favorite collectibles that you have that's Jason related, you know, any favorite memories, you know, which one is your favorite? I keep going back and forth, but I think, you know, it's like, as much as Part 3 is definitely, again, I have a special love because that was the first one. I think Final Chapter might be my favorite one out of all of them. But then I love Part 6 as well. I don't know. I love them all for different reasons. So either way, let me know some of your favorites. Jason, whatever. Whatever you want to share, I'm more than happy to read it. So again, happy Friday the 13th. And as always, I will see you on the next one.